one of the great white leapers in the history of the NBA. He's Brent Barry of NBA TV back on the program. Hi, Brent.
Hi, Dan. I'd like to be known from here on out as a more athletic Del Curry.
Remember Del Curry didn't move?
That.
He just stood in the corner and just had shots. So, like, Steve Kerr might have been more athletic than Del Curry.
Maybe so. I bet Steve would say he was.
Del would probably disagree.
I was listening a little earlier, Dan, about this confusion around the sweatpants.
That you wore for the slam dunk contest.
Yes, I know we have a deal that I was going to get them. Now, here's what happened. I sent them to Sochi, and I'm not sure what has happened. You didn't get them there?
You can do better than that. You're a creative guy. I'm going to try that again. Hey, Brent, how are you? What happened with your sweatpants?
Hey, Dan, I have them. I'm going to get them to you soon.
That's good. I appreciate that. Here's what I didn't understand. You wore the top to your sweatsuit to win the slam dunk contest.
Yeah.
Why don't you just give me that, since that's historical? That's something that, I can put that up and say he actually won a slam dunk contest. You didn't even take off your jacket.
Yeah, you see, you know how your jersey was thrown away?
Yeah, by my wife.
And you're hurt by that?
Yep.
Me sending that thing to you would hurt me twice as much. And so that's probably not going to happen.
Okay, so the warm-up pants are coming my way.
The pants will get there.
All right.
The top will stay in a box with my mom, who hopefully will not throw it out.
Did your brother drop an F-bomb on the air when he was doing a broadcast the other night?
Did he?
You didn't hear him?
No.
Marc Gasol hits 4 jumpers in a row, and I think your brother, John Barry, says Marc Gasol has hit 4 effing jumpers in a row.
I would love to track this down if this is true. That's phenomenal, by the way. I didn't hear of that. No.
Yes, yeah, I think it happened over the weekend. And look, I love your brother, but I could so hear your brother.
Oh, God, yes. Are you kidding me?
What if we created a channel, Brent, where you're able to actually say what you feel when you're watching? So you're going to broadcast a game, and we put it on, cable, put it on DirecTV, where you get to actually say what you want to say and being descriptive.
Yeah, you'd basically just be broadcasting Twitter at that point.
Yeah. How is that? Would that be okay? Could you do that?
Yeah, I mean, you could.
It'd make for some interesting calls.
It would be interesting. I think Charles would be taken to a whole nother level.
Oh, I couldn't have Barkley out there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, can you imagine hearing Steve Kerr going F-bomb? That would be so great.
There's certain guys that wouldn't be on the channel. I'd have to get guys who are willing to be themselves.
I don't know. Steve will sell out for some cash. He could do it.
He's Brent Barry, the NBA TV analyst, joining us, Dan Patrick Show.
Dan, I had an idea for you.
Wait. Did you guys listen to it? You just heard it, right?
Seton and I, we've been working in radio for a long time. Your brother said 4 effing jumpers.
No. Did he say effing or he said the word?
He said the word.
No, he said the word.
Please send a link along, please.
Okay. It is clear as day. It's not even one of those where you go, you know what? Maybe he said. Now, I can't play it. Well, you know what? Just bleep it out. Get 2-a-days to bleep that out. See if you can do that.
Okay, I can't wait to hear this.
Oh, my God.
Fantastic.
Just another story to add to your brother's resume.
Oh, gosh.
Phil Jackson story. You buying this?
You know, it was interesting hearing Frank. I saw talking early about it because Frank is so clued into what's going on with the Knicks and him talking about the idea of Phil coming on board and that it's been out there a couple weeks. I mean, I feel bad for Coach Woodson at this point. I mean, what a tough situation to deal with a legend like Phil Jackson being mentioned in the news, and that there was actually an offer out there, and that they didn't only, they first offered him to coach the team, and then that didn't work out. So, we'll put him above you, Mike. How are you feeling with this guillotine above you at this point? But I think it would be really interesting. I think there are a lot of people, Dan, and maybe you're one of them, as I am, that would love to see Phil Jackson take over a situation in a leadership role that he doesn't have everything in place. I mean, that's one of the discussion points amongst current players and certainly former players around Phil Jackson's tenure as a coach with the Bulls and the Lakers is that, well, he had everything set up. He had all these great players, as you mentioned before. And, yes, those players didn't win collectively before Phil got there, but it's hard to argue that he didn't always have 2 of the top 5 players in the NBA on those rosters that won championships. And so for him to at this stage, I guess in his life and I guess in his basketball life, to take over the problems that are existing in New York and the way that the foundation of New York is basically in rubbles for the next 2 or 3 years. I think there are a lot of people that would be really curious if he took a role as a general manager and tried to construct something. Now, I will say that it would have to be somebody that Phil puts on the staff and with the assistants there that has got to be somebody very close to him and close to his system. And which guy would that be? Because I don't see him on the bench, and I don't see him coaching. But who would be that person that Phil would tap to go down and try and lead the troops?
Here's what I would rather have. I'd rather have a coach come in there. If I get, let's say, Thibodeau or Mark Jackson returns to the Knicks, to me that might be more valuable than getting Phil Jackson in the front office, where I don't even know if he's going to be. Like, I want somebody who's got their hands on the team.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Phil is going to have that. If he does and he commits all the way with it, then great. I think it would be great for the NBA.
But does Coach Jackson have that kind of? Obviously, he has the reputation and the bravado to convince somebody like that to come to New York and to work under the parameters that he sets forth and sort of get it together. I mean, if he makes those phone calls, Dan, that phone call is going to be received. Somebody's going to pick that up and listen to that phone call, and that's sort of the power that Jerry West wields as a consultant with the Golden State Warriors. Even though Jerry's up in the Bay Area every now and again, he actually goes to a lot of the D-League games and checks them out. But when Jerry gets on the phone, you answer Jerry's phone call.
Yeah, I don't even know if these kids know how great Jerry is, unless he says, "Hey, I'm Jerry West. I'm the logo." These kids they have no sense of history. So
I agree. It's not the kids I'm really concerned about or the players coming up. It's the people within, the confines of the NBA structure, the coaching structure, the coaching tree, the assistant coaches, other general managers. Not so much, the talent pool and the players that you're talking about, but just in formulating and starting to get together a staff that's going to try to fix the problems that are happening in Gotham. There's a great quote in Phil's book. He said, your problems never cease; they just change. And I just wonder at his age if he's wanting to, accept these problems and try to take them on.
He's Brent Barry, NBA TV analyst, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. Joakim Noah. I remember Paulie watching Florida play, and he said, I don't know if this guy's any good, but he's so active. And then we watched him with the Bulls, and you sort of forget about him. But he's getting better every year. He doesn't back down from anybody. And you can't help but like him and want to play on a team like that, because he's the guy who goes, what do you want me to do? I'll do it. Should he be in MVP consideration?
It's a great question, Dan. Why not? The Bulls certainly aren't anywhere close to what they've done this year. They're not in the playoff hunt. They're not pushing Toronto for the third seed. But in saying that, there maybe lies the problem that I just said to you. They're pushing Toronto. And that's it's been a tough year for the Eastern Conference. There's been some remarkable performances, obviously, with Kevin Durant and LeBron James doing what they're doing. James Harden's coming on strong here, and Dwight Howard's been playing great as of late. But the most valuable player, Steve Kerr said a great thing, that he would take Kevin Durant, LeBron James, or Joakim Noah if he had one game to win. Those would be the three guys that, if he had to choose, those are the three guys he would take. And it's hard to argue with his will to win that Joakim Noah wouldn't want to be the guy that you'd suit up with and go to battle with. I mean, he's been phenomenal. The run he's been on has been incredible. Yeah. The wins that they've had have been against marquee teams, and they're doing it in just classic Thibodeau style. But Joakim Noah has been the guy behind it all, and it's been fantastic as of late for Chicago.
Are you buying in on the Rockets? I think it's people don't want San Antonio to get back to the finals, so we're now going.
I don't want to go back to San Antonio from Atlanta, but I have to. I live there.
But I think the Clippers might be the best team in the West, although we're looking at the Rockets, certainly Oklahoma City. But handicap those three teams in the West, and who will be the best team at the end of the year coming out of the West?
Did we not include San Antonio in
You
there?
can if you want.
Who has the best record in the league?
I know.
Ho hum, by the way.
I know.
Okay. All right. The one thing about Houston that I've liked as of late, and Coach McHale's been talking about the fact is that these guys have great chemistry, and whenever you have things like that happening off the floor where you have a togetherness and you're pulling for one another, and it certainly has been showing in their recent play, beating Miami, Indiana, Portland in 1 week. That's pretty impressive. But the one thing about them is that they're embracing who it is that they are. They're not concerning themselves with trying to figure out how to stop other teams or what the tactics are going in. What I've seen over the past 3 weeks is just saying, you know what, we're the Houston Rockets. This is the way we play. We figured out how to see Dwight a little more often when he's running the floor, and they're starting to find their groove. Patrick Beverley is giving them a toughness that I think that they've really rallied behind. He's been this role guy that's come in and taken the starting point guard position. Jeremy Lin comes off the bench. He had 26 last night. They have a little bit of depth. I just don't trust the Houston Rockets system to win every big game that they're in. There's too much reliance on we've got to drill a bunch of threes and we've got to make fantastic plays. And in series, I think that's hard to do. So I put them down a notch from what it is the Clippers can do as they operate in the half court with Chris Paul, have to have possessions where they have to get a good shot. There are concerns not with the Clipper depth, but with how it is that Doc Rivers is going to get all those guys into the lineup. There's plenty of mixes he can put out there. He's got to figure out what to do with them, but I think Doc has a way of being able to tinker with that much talent. He did it in Boston. So I put the Clippers just a tick ahead of Houston. And the last one, OKC, is that the last one you wanted to go with?
Yeah. What does anybody? This was a one-word answer. The best team in the West at the end of the year, Bones. Is
I go into analysis mode.
Yeah, you don't
and
have
I get
to.
Talkative.
There's nothing wrong with a one-word answer.
God, I suck. Sorry.
Don't swear. Leave that to your
apologize.
brother. Okay, so the team out of the West will be
San Antonio.
Oh. See, that's why I didn't need all that other verbiage.
I know, but it sounded good in my head.
You really. We're going to call you back in about 15 minutes. We're editing the sound and put the bleep in there for your brother.
Oh, yeah, or just send me the link. That would be cool.
All right.
And two things.
Yes.
One, congratulations to the guys on the box score. I hope that goes fantastic. Great job. And then lastly, I think you should donate all your residual checks that you're getting from your movie appearances to Eastern Kentucky basketball.
No, I'd give it to Dayton basketball.
Well, 3 cents would be kind of a rub. That would be kind of cool. Dan Patrick sent us a 3-cent check.
Hey, Bones, I didn't get paid to go play. You got paid to go to Oregon State, okay?
Well, my scholarship was paid for, yes, Dan.
You never got anything under the table at Oregon State?
Well, there's a few fraternity parties that I would have to say that with some sorority.
All righty, okay.
My bad.
All right. Thank you, Brent.
All right, Dan.
And
thanks.
send the warm-up pants.
You got it.
Man, all right. Brent Barry, one of the great white leapers of all time.